Hey, DevUndead, and I welcome you to my devlog about Legend of a Soul Hunter. After 3 more weeks of development, I would like to show you my current status. Without further ado, I would like to start with what has happened since the last devlog. I implemented many new things, had problems and was able to solve them. Therefore, it is now possible for me to show you my progress. This is the list with the new main features. Travel by boat. As you can see in the background, you now have the possibility to travel by boat. It was implemented relatively simply, since I don't want to use elaborate physics in the game. Nevertheless, the boat is able to move on the waves. This is also the reason why the water looks slightly different than in the last devlog. Despite the simple physics, I had trouble implementing it cleanly, which you can see in this shot. But now I am happy with it and I will continue with it as it is currently implemented. Tutorial Island was implemented. You can also see the island that will be essential for the tutorial. It contains a mansion that gives the player a place to live. There is also a forge on the island where you get your first sword, and it is important to upgrade the sword later in 2 additional levels. This is the first time the story is told. Also here the first time the handling of the sword is taught. Various UI topics implemented. The game has now seen some improvements in the HUD, which will now allow me to easily access and modify various things programmatically. I have also started to implement the UI in a way that it can handle various screen sizes. Besides the HUD, a main menu was created which can be used for various things. Besides the normal things like inventory and settings, the collected task and the map can be viewed. Currently, an inventory has been designed which has also received initial implementation. The inventory gives an idea of the possibilities you will finally have in the game. Additionally, the list of tasks has been implemented once with simple filters for main tasks, secondary tasks and completed tasks. If you select a task, you can see exactly which content it has. Another UI element, dialogues, were also built in using simple JSON files. They allow to interact with the NPCs and thus get new tasks or trade with them. Player animations. All relevant animations are created. There are 24 animations which have been made. The number of final animations in the game is higher because some animations are also played backwards, for example to draw a sword and stow it away again. About half of the animations have been implemented in the game so far. However, it's no longer that time consuming to implement the missing ones, since the state management works very well by now. They will be implemented as soon as they become relevant. Mine Dungeon. The implementation of the first dungeon has begun. In the last week I could start to plan them. The puzzles and the progress is also planned to a large extent. The dungeon is structured classically, where you get a dungeon item in the half. After that, it is necessary to explore certain parts again to progress. Since this is the first dungeon in the game, it is still rather simple in design. Nevertheless, it is meant to be challenging and requires the player to explore the island as well as the dungeon. This is to prepare for the final boss fight. Secondary features. This is a list of new secondary features which are worth mentioning. Added the possibility to save the game. Added placeholder characters which time by time get their 3D models. Some new models have been added which should expand the game world. The base code was implemented to be able to interact with various things. What are my plans for the coming weeks? The following things are planned to be implemented in the coming weeks. Therefore, the status and implemented things could vary. The main dungeon should be created and all the main puzzles should work. In addition, the first monsters are to be created. To be able to fight them, the implementation of a combat system should be started. And finally, start with the implementation of the boss. Thank you for your interest in the project. If you like what you see, follow this channel to see when a new devlog is uploaded and follow the progress of Legend of a Soul Hunter. If you have an idea or want to ask something, feel free to leave a comment below the video. I will try to answer as soon as possible. After this video, I show you uncommented 2 spoilers. Have fun and I see you in the next video. Bye!